10, 15 kills. It was still never LGD in trouble.
Yeah. One of the biggest strengths for LGD is they never really fall behind in farm, even when they're losing a lot of fights in the mid game. Like if you look at that game at about the say the 20-minute mark, it looked really bad if you just look at kill score and just current like map positioning. They were down like 11-5 in terms of kills, but then if you look at how much maybe in Starladder were farming, LGD was actually in a very good position to win that game. So they did a really good job there, not falling behind in farm.
I think Scan and I were talking about it a lot. Like throughout the game, it never really felt like there was any like period of the game where EG really were ahead necessarily.
They just had one or two very good team fights. That's and that's the one thing that LGD, I think, if they want to take the third game, needs to fix up, because there were one or two fights that looked really, really poorly executed by them in that game. Just one or two though. And the Witch Doctor is in for game 3, so I wonder, is it first pick Witch Doctor the third time in a row?
I could see it.
Oh, it's LGD with first pick. I was about to say.
EG is on the radio
with first pick. Okay. I was going to say, based on the band.
So this is wrong.
This is currently wrong. EG needs to be on the bottom.
Okay.
I gotta get the stoppery.
There we go.
They had it right at the start.
And I mean, you said that last game the Witch Doctor wasn't as a high impact as Fears, but now it will be fair again, so...
Yeah, I think...
Well, actually, PPD can play, they can both play, depending on what they get. So
PPD actually was like richer than I've seen him in ages on his Witch Doctor yesterday.
He had an Acceptor.
Yeah, he just did a lot of work.
Well.
So anything in particular that we're thinking that EG should do differently this game compared to previous game, and you know, having the Witch Doctor on that side already helps so far in this series, 100% win rate, so that's good. Anything else that comes to mind?
I mean, I actually think because EG get the Witch Doctor, they're automatically ahead in the draft, because LGD really struggled to win fights against this hero, and in game 2, the weakest part of LGD was a few of the fights. So
they have that game 1 to go off at least. Like, I don't think we're going to see a Sven Lina response. I don't think we're going to see a lineup that can't prevent the Witch Doctor death ward. They already pick up the Venge to deal with it, and I don't imagine we'll see heroes that are going to get wrecked by the coconuts as well. Like BKB carries, like come to mind. Like the gyrocopter type picks, I think can work very well. Like getting a gyro for Psy, like getting like a mid kind of tempo controller snowball for maybe, like that's just your bread and butter.
I'm just saying put the two games together, right? And we saw what Witch Doctor did to them in game 1. We saw in game 2 that their weak spot was team fights, and if you're gonna have like a poorly executed team fight, like, this is not the hero you want to do it against.
Yeah.
So there's more pressure on OG, like with those two results together, they'll need to be much more careful about the execution in all the fights.
Yeah, because game 2 they didn't exactly team fight or execute all too well. Exactly. They often went in when they weren't really able to do so.
Yeah, and Sylar actually has played Venge this patch. He's played it once, and he played it in the qualifiers for this tournament, and owned actually did really well. Went 6-1-11 versus newbie.
So far so good for the same draft as previous.
Yeah. Different team, same draft.
Yeah, just to add a level of confusion to the fact that we weren't sure which side was which.
Yeah, like, are we sure about this, guys? We need to check.
This is basically LGD saying we can do what you wanted to do, and we can do it better.
Right.
Yeah, well,
with some tweaks, we took your strategy and perfected it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about how professional players like learn things by copying the best person at that thing, and there's no reason why that shouldn't happen inside a series either. So this was good against what we did. So
I think EG might mix it up here. Like, if they want Faceless Void, they got to pick it now, and that is a hero. Time to like Rex Zeus. Like there it is.
Yeah, this is.
I was about to say,
really good.
like they did so well with it in the past, in yesterday as well as I think one game in the group stage.
It combos well with the Witch Doctor.
You see the Zeus, you're thinking like there's no reason not to pick Void second here.
Yeah, the Venge is sort of good against it, but you can't be swapping the Void and the Witch Doctor. You can't be swapping someone out of the Chrono and swapping the Witch Doctor. So
and it just because of the new spell, the time dilation. I think even when you're not getting great Chronospheres, the hero still offers so much to your team, and it prevents a lot of future annoying picks as well.
A lot of happy fans on screen.
They all want to be on the camera.
Side of this tissue paper.
Gotta do something against sweaty hands.
Oh my god, calm and collected.
MMY is my favorite Chinese Dota player, has been since like forever. I know we don't mean to like state biases or whatever, but as like a fan, kind of, I just have so much respect for that guy.
I'm not sure who's mine. I mean, he used to be YYF, but he's kind of gone. He's
that's a good bet as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you burn out at Time Hunter if you're EG?
I don't think RTK is tied as being. It's more depending what your lanes are going to be, like what kind of heroes you're eyeing off for your safe lane. Witch Doctor is really good at zoning out Tide, I think, for the most part. So I don't think you're afraid of the hero.
Or would you start banning out Sylar's hero? I mean, we can only guess right
which
now.
player do you want to target with your bans is the big question.
I think LGD has shown so far this patch that they can be very resistant to trying to just ban out Sylar's heroes.
You either target. Yeah, I mean,
I think you target
one
maybe.
ban at
I think you target maybe.
He's got Zeus. But Zeus has picked up.
RO2K has been playing a lot of Zeus.
That's true, but I think maybe has too many heroes to target him. Like you could maybe, if there's one hero that's really bad for you, yes.
I mean, I would actually say this is more likely RO2K Zeus than a maybe Zeus.
But yeah, I mean, we didn't actually discuss this between the games. I'm wondering, do you guys think that EG consider banning Morphling?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
just one of those things that we said again, like, it's just, even if you think it's not good in the draft, Sylar plays the hero so well, you just don't want to have to deal with it.
The tempo we're seeing in general, it's playing into the late game. That's playing into LGD's hands when they have Morphling 2 bans onto Sylar heroes, Morphling and Slack. So they're very much, I think partly because you don't know if Zeus is going to be mid or off lane, you just say, well, there's a lot of heroes that are RTK and maybe probably have 2 of the bigger hero pools as far as LGD players go. You don't know where the Zeus is. You can't really, there's only so many bans you can do towards them.
Right. I think I really like LGD's opening here, because even though Sylar, like, he doesn't really normally play like a Venge Spirit character, he's shown he can, he's done it, and so this is a very open draft for them in terms of who's playing what, who's laning where.
It's very open, but I personally prefer EG just because I think they've got the Witch Doctor, and also Void is just going to be so good against Zeus in general. I think Chronosphere with the Death Ward's got great synergy. LGD, they've got this, like, they can run Zeus in 3 different roles, they can run Venge in 2 different roles, but they haven't got any synergy or really way of dealing with EG just yet out of their opening 2 picks.
So what do you pick that's good against Void? Like, what do you think?
Silence, like hard stuns, burst damage, don't let him get time walk off.
Do you think
Orchids come to mind?
Do you get a maybe Death Prophet so you can still hopefully have Exorcism up? She doesn't really mind the cooldown.
I don't like Death Prophet plus Zeus particularly.
I think I
also don't like Zeus off lane. I think that's a really, as much as RTK has been playing,
I don't like it either. I think they're going to be playing it. I don't really like it, but I think that's what they'll play.
So, interesting question. I think that the Zeus games have been the best in this tournament is when Zeus is paired with at least one other kind of global hero. But I don't know, like, do you run the ROTK Nature's Prophet? Is that a thing you do?
Well, likely a Spectre.
I would love to see an ROTK Nature's Prophet.
If they want to take a page from EG's book and go Spectre, Night Stalker with second vision.
As soon as you have Zeus with, like, one other global hero, it's that much harder to split against you, and you can also split against them. Yep. But you're right, Night Stalker, Zeus, and Venge, that's huge vision.
And you talked about how Enigma couldn't get good Chronospheres off, and Night Stalker was a big reason why. Well, now you've got Night Stalker again to stop the Void getting good ultimates off. You've got Zeus to scout.
What about Terrorblade here? Good catch with a Night Stalker, Sunder, and global.
For Sylar, it's pretty solid. It's like when you're up Metamorph trying to zone out a Void, it's not like burst damage all at once. You can time walk out of. Time walk still will get you away a lot of the time.
Right. Another not terribly cooldown dependent hero that can deal with
something that can also just deal with, like, take down early. You're always going to look at Roche, I think, when you're on the dire side.
I don't think LGD picked Gyro here. I think we've seen Faceless do pretty well against Gyro. Time dilation really hurts him.
It's no longer a Gyro game.
If you have a Terrorblade and a Void, and the Terrorblade Thunders the Faceless Void, it doesn't count as damage taken because it's health swap.
It's just a raw swap.
Yeah,
correct.
so if you then try to time walk, will you get your health back or not?
I think it's damage taken, actually.
I think it's damage taken as well, that's why I'm asking.
But Sunder does not deal damage. It literally just swaps your HP with the enemy.
So you will still have low health.
Because if you are Oracle ulted and you HP swap someone, you will actually swap HP. It isn't delayed.
So I'm gonna go ahead with my, like, weird made-up psychoanalysis here, which I was talking about previously in the series, which is that I thought after the first game, okay, but the Terrorblade is there, but I just want to talk about the TA. I thought after the first game, Sumail had such a nice game, maybe it was more motivated to have a really explosive game, and then I feel like it happens again here, where, like, now after maybe does so well in the TA, Sumail's like, come on guys, give me a go, I want to play that hero, I can also earn with this.
Yeah. Having Terrorblade is a decent answer for TA, at least I feel. You've got very high base armor, and also just Reflection is kind of annoying for a TA to deal with from time to time as well.
What are you cheering for?
Terrorblade. He was looking down.
I was looking down.
You didn't see it.
I was looking down to see if Time Walk actually, it does not backtrack Sunder.
So yeah, that's so it's a good counter towards that Faceless Void as well.
Have you noticed that
in a way
3 of LGD's heroes have wings?
So Wings Gaming lives on.
Oh my god, don't tell Slacks, please!
Yeah!
By the way, didn't Faceless Spirit got her wings clipped, and the only reason she has wings clipped now
It
because
depends on what set him.
yeah, that's why she has fake wings. She put on a jacket that has wings, basically.
And it's the funny thing is
doesn't count.
Zeus levitates.
That way I can get wings too.
That's right. Zeus is the only one that can fly, even though he's the one without wings.
Yep.
That's Dota 2.
No, that's not with a haste rune.
Does he fly? Oh yeah, that's true. With the haste rune.
So Arteezy, TA, and Sumail Ember, I guess. They may actually be putting Sumail in the safe lane this time around. Although, I mean, RTZ Ember does come up every now and then.
RTZ can play Ember. I know there's
like you say, Sumail's motivated to be maybe in the mid lane. Do you give Sumail the mid lane? He's probably telling Captain like, put me in, coach, put me in the mid lane.
Now in this situation, do you pick Oracle and put Zeus in mid, Night Stalker in the offlane?
I've been a fan of the Zeus pick from the start. I very much would prefer that for LGD.
But I'm saying, do you still pick Oracle though? Like even if you do pick Zeus mid, do you pick Oracle or not?
I mean, when the TA picked up, maybe LGD is a team more inclined to pick something that's a favorable matchup for mid lane and run Zeus in the off lane. I think Night Stalker's, to me, is definitely the support here, is the one thing that I feel most confident about.
I think that's why EG are deciding, like, do we need to even ban something like Oracle? Like, is it necessary?
They ban RTK heroes. Okay, so they're thinking it's a maybe Zeus.
Yeah. But if we look at RTZ and Sumail, we can't really know, but the one trend, certainly in this tournament, is that RTZ is going to be the hero that wants more farm protected, and he'll probably go to the lane that protects the farm better as well.
Is that not TA this game?
I think it might be. Well, depending on what the last pick is.
Yeah. This to me, like, looking at the heroes and everything, like, I would say RTZ TA most times here. Ultimately, with EG, I feel like talking about who's playing what doesn't really affect their strategy too much. Like, it's more like what's EG doing as a whole, and the TA Ember Spirit dual course here, something different, I guess, coming out of them.
I really like that LGD banned the Winter Wyvern. I feel like the best game Universe had on Void was when PPD had the Wyvern to set up, well, actually it was Spear's Wyvern, but...
Is that an RTK Airshaker?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I am pretty happy with that,
Good,
actually.
thank God.
So is the Zeus versus TA, the plan is just to farm on Zeus, I guess?
Yes, good.
It's like
I thought it was going to be an RTK, I'm happy it's not.
So I think this is one of the more better heroes that suits him so well. Maybe not, like, we've seen him play the previous patches a lot. It's such a playmaker.
Yeah, they ruined the blue stripe.
Then I think I'm back to Sumail's playing TA, because Ember Spirit's in a safe lane against the offlane Earthshake. He's going to get all the farm in the world. Like,
But RTZ Ember, do you dare?
4 seconds left.
I genuinely think that's like an exaggerated thing.
His Ember is fine.
God dang.
And LGD doesn't have a Dragon Knight, so it's fine.
Sumail Ember! Alright.
Okay.
So
yeah, you gotta all say something. This is the last match. This is the game that's gonna decide which team is gonna make it to that finals and which team is gonna go home with $30,000, which is also not nothing. But you want to be in there to have a chance to go for the 100.
I'm gonna cheat. So I'm not gonna call for this game, but I'm gonna say that the team that wins this game will win the tournament. Is that?
No.
No, you gotta give us something.
EG, they got Witch Doctor.
EG.
I'm with EG. I think the Terrorblade's going to have a really rough time against TA, Ember, and all these heroes that he can't really kill.
I'm going to go with LGD. I actually do like the Terrorblade pick. I think there's good synergy dealing with Faceless Void's backtrack with it, and I think it's just a good draft for them overall.
Okay, it's a split panel. We're going to find out what our commentators think. It is time for Game 3. EG LGD with OD Pixel and Luminous.
Indeed, as we get ourselves ready for this very, very, very important game for these two teams, the drafts have been revealed, and Lumi, we're seeing it, that Terrorblade that started to be touched upon by a few teams at this LAN. And of course now, coming into this one, up against the side of EG is the Starladder TV. We've seen it before in the groups. It did well. It was absolutely terrifying. Can he do it again, Lumi? Can he do it again? Do you have faith in the Starladder TV?
I have faith on the Starladder TV, but I feel like the EG team fight might just be a little bit too strong. It's not just a Chronosphere, it's a Tombstone with a Chronosphere. The zombie will generate, there's a lot of things that you have to go through to get to the backline of PPD, who is going to be pinging at you with the Death Ward. You have great synergy between the traps and the zombie and the Death Ward again. I don't know, I feel like LGD, if they're going to win this game, they have to split open the map, because the team fight of EG is just too strong.
And of course, something's being turned around a little bit here. The fact that Zeus TA matchup this time going to be vice versa. Yeah, we got it the other way around. We saw how well TA did do against the Zeus, and now, well, with this kind of straight-up comparison, we'll be able to see if it was the player or if it is the hero matchup that does just favor the TA.
To be fair, I think maybe had quite a bit of help. Remember the Night Stalker as well as the Witch Doctor roaming in. And with that said, you know, EG could do the same thing. They could help the TA to set up those kills. But I think that's where having an ROTK Earthshaker would be more helpful than an Elder Titan to defend against those ganks. Elder Titan, the clap did help out once, I think, but a Fissure is just much easier to land. You come off from a farther distance, so I expect ROTK to need to help out the Zeus, and he will help out the Zeus.
Yes, RTZTA, one of the old classics. And Samel on that Ember Spirit. A hero that overall's kind of fallen off over a period since the Frankfurt Major, but Ember, in your eyes, still certainly a place for him. Would you say he's still a very, very strong core to have in the right situation?
I think so. I mean, that thought Arteezy.
He's not got refraction again here.
He's got a magic wand, so he's got a little bit extra regen as well. Although DBC seems like he doesn't care. Hiding around, maybe doing a little bit more. And I think Zeus is fairly out of mana, so that should be needed.
Oh, meanwhile, this is the weakness of the TB. He is squishy early on, and if you throw an Undying at him with a Witch Doctor and an Ember Spirit, you're going to get those kills.
Also, in all of these games, Sylar has been doing very well. With RTZ, maybe a lot of trouble.
So much aggression on this mid lane.
This is actually casually farming under the enemy tower. Yes, Sylar's been doing well, but he's doing well with absolute free farm. He never really had, offensive trialing thrown against him. In fact, he just teleports to the bottom lane and just does a lane switch. It's not much easier though. Universe with the lane advantage. He's got the poor man Shio. He's coming in here throwing down time locks.
He'll be ready to trade hits for sure with this terribly. And he's doing exactly that. And with the Undying there, this is Sylar dying a second time. The Terrorblade, I asked you if you had faith, and it doesn't matter if you did or you didn't. This is not the plan for a Terrorblade, dying 2 times within the first 2 minutes. Sylar's got to be careful.
Oh, ROTK thought he trapped one away. Now he's kind of pincer. He's going to get the rune though.
Nice.
Got the fast fingers. Maybe the old man ain't so old. Being out the youngin here on the rune fight. But the big thing is that EG lane is just dominating every single lane.
Yeah.
You can argue that mid lane's a wash, but again, once TA gets a couple of levels on the Zeus, or once they get to level 5, suddenly the lane to be is TA favored.
We'll see how well LGD can kind of compose themselves and keep the stability, even with Sylar falling a couple of times already very early on into the game. They will decide to... they're going to send him back up to the top lane. So he's got DDC hanging around there now. Maybe that was one of the issues, the fact that we saw DDC very heavily focused on the mid lane, and perhaps it would have been a little bit more useful to have him up top. Oh, okay. Still doesn't catch on to him.
Yeah.
Didn't quite dodge it.
That was somewhat unlucky for him. The big Satya creep threw a Hadouken, and actually that took away his Flame Guard. And then they're like, okay, let's go. RTZ, still okay. That does have the bottle and the magic wand charges again. So, apart from the kills against the Terrorblade, might actually get a little bit more kills.
He's just going for a bit of a tickle down to the Earthshaker, but one thing we can be sure of is that Universe is finding that farm, and the CS kind of difference between the two sides, as you can see from the individuals, is pretty significant. You've got 3 cores pretty much farming perfectly on the side of EG. On the side of LGD, it's only really the Zeus that's being able to keep up the pace here.
Yep. The other thing that we do see from the Terrorblade strategy when Sylar runs it is that he does level up Conjurer Image when he has absolute free farm, and what he does is after level 6 or 7 he ducks into the jungle, and then you give your Night Stalker or your Venge a little bit of room to farm. But if you look at his skill build this game, he's forced to level up Reflections. He's actually just foregoing it.
No, this is the kind of classic Sylar. It does out the second and the third.
The problem is he's dying because he doesn't have Reflections. When you're up against 3 heroes running at you, Reflections is very helpful. And in fact, you might wish he had Reflection right here.
Where's the help for Sylar? Where is the help? Sylar just left alone in the supports. They just weren't there. MMI and DDC uncharacteristically just not around to help Sylar, and you just can't leave a Terrorblade on his own.
Honestly,
what is going on here, Lumi?
I don't think it would help that much anyways if they're there. Maybe they'll throw a magic missile and maybe there's a slow, but they will just dive Sylar. That's where, not having the Morphling waveform is that bad. And again, I just question the choice of the skill build. He normally goes for this build, but I just don't think this is the game to do it.
This is LGD having to really be careful now. Losing the hero that they're really relying on to carry them. We saw how important it is for Sylar to get that good start, and how well he can do when he gets it. Mid lane, RTZ still 28-4, 25-3, even though earlier on we saw a lot of regression going on to him, and PPD going for a little bit of a weird wraparound, but he's got the Voodoo Restoration. be able to walk it off.
Gotta be careful diving a tower against Zeus.
Yeah.
Damage output is quite scary. So you know, like the previous two games, the one thing that you can always count on in this early to mid game is that you got a Ravage to back you up. LGD doesn't really have, you know, a big ultimate that could turn a fight if EG starts to
How
dive.
close is Universe to Chrono? Because I can see him with Chrono just going straight up for kill. He's got it now.
Yeah.
He has got it now as Sylar.
And critically, he doesn't have Sunder because of the fact that he died 3 times. So if EG finds a good goal, they can.
Witch Doctor's there ready as well. If Sylar comes forward here, now Sylar may have come a little bit too forward. Yeah, they'll go straight in. Chrono's been dropped, and this is going to be Sylar falling for the 4th time. As EG again just destroying the Terrorblade.
Okay.
RTZ, this might be the first casualty here for the side of EG. LGD moving in, they've got the fish in, they'll find themselves a kill on the board. They will find that kill onto TA, but still Sylar. It's not going great for him.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Also, I thought the Void pick was going to be such a backbreaker against a lot of these heroes. I mean, what is your best tool against Chronosphere? I guess you swap out the person that's being hammered on and you lose your Venge, but still, that's just not the best way to deal with the situation. And Universe, again, is having, to me, one of the better performance for Void. He's amazingly farmed. In fact, he's leading the farm. And he's going to get that early Vlads, the early Blink, the early Aghanims. And it's going to get real hard for LGD. Maybe he's not having a great game. And of course, Sylar is having just a terrible game.
I mean, maybe he's doing all right. He's still pretty much on par with TA's net worth.
That's fair.
The Zeus is pretty much the glimmering hope here for LGD at this point, but
I guess just compared to the maybe game that we just exited from.
yeah, he's not winning the lane as hard as he did in game 1. Yeah, that is for sure. It is a very, sorry, game 2 that we saw from LGD. Game 3 certainly off to a rocky start here for.
Yeah, I'm just trying really hard to find a bright spot for LGD, and it seems like EG is just coasting all the way right now.
And top lane as well. Tri lane of EG moving in.
They're like, hey, Sylar,
Smokes
let's go
up.
again.
They'll look for DDC here. They'll pop out the cast. Samel goes forward. There's your change. Holding him near.
Oh, he is very fast.
Got the chase down with the tick damage. The Sleight of Fist has been now skilled by Samel, and he'll jump in to finish it off. Now mid lane, EG. They've seen they get more Chronosphere up in 6 seconds. LGD back down, and the final haste room for themselves bottom, but still 5-1. 8 minutes in, top 3 on the last hits, all on the side of EG and Sylar. Just sitting there in the jungle, staying in the trees.
He actually just has no room to farm.
At the moment, he's just conjuring images, getting illusions out, and trying to creep a hit with those in the
the jungle stack being stolen here by RTZ. They're going to try to make it go on a match.
RTZ stole a few bananas in this time, and he tries to seal the stack, and he's going to get punished for it. The silence is down. Can he get himself out? He's got refraction.
Oh, that's going to be the gank.
He's a smooth dealer, that man, and straight in with the remnants onto MMY. Samael, he's got the mana here for a change if needed. He'll put the flame guard, and here we go. MMY to fall. Another kill on the tally of EG. Continue to stop it. They've got the trap zone. They've got the trap zone onto maybe he's going to walk into the. Will get taken down, but again, change. Can he get himself out in time here? Can they get it? Yes, he will.
Fortunately, no mana, I believe, on the PPD to
he's
get the cask off.
Had to kind of heal up his team.
Yep. Normally you look to those spots like that and you're like, okay, at least Sylar's farming, but not really. Fear is just putting pressure on him.
Pretty much farming the best he has the whole game, but that's not saying much.
He's like, guys, I got 2 CS, you know? He doesn't literally have 2 CS, so it just feels like that. So I guess you just hope that RTK gets an early blink and just team fight your way back into the game, but he's only got 400 gold. Again, I'm just thinking in the perspective of LGD and trying to see how can they make the comeback. It's just they don't have the tools to do it. Sylar is about to get Chrono.
Oh yeah, Sylar. He knows he's again just hanging back. keeping an illusion in lane. And we'll look to get losses for that. Actually moving forward with the main hero. Mid lane, maybe in DDC hanging around. RTK will block off Fear. Fear is alone. Actually going to force the double TPs here from EGs. They're going to look to turn. RTK going to go for the TP out and he'll make it.
Alright, that's
Smart move from RTK.
If let's say the Radiant team, if the Dire team could maybe pressure the mid tower, maybe a bot tower a bit, then they could get something out of the trade. But not sure whether LGD can. And of course EG is just, this is their game at this moment right now. And for the next couple of moments, 5,000 goal lead in about 10 minutes of gameplay. Or 3,000, sorry. It is 5,000 and 3,000 EXP. The monitors in front of us are at least in front of me is...
Yeah, it's a little bit. But you have to look at it at a very specific angle.
Or at least, or maybe I'm just getting old.
I think you're getting old, Lumi.
Okay, fair enough.
Old man, Lumi. I got blink on now, Artur's TA.
Yep.
So,
and we saw the effectiveness of Blink.
And Blink's TA against a Terrorblade that does not have much at all. It doesn't matter that you don't have a death, so you're still going to get RTZ though, TPing in. There's a lot of heroes around it, he'll blink out, and he needs to be very careful. Because LGD already divided, now the backup for EG, so now EG looking stronger, they can jump in. RTK will put the Echo Stand, doesn't do a lot at all. That is the Echo Stand down, effectively over the Chrono. Oh, Sylar, his left foot getting caught in the Chrono, it is enough, and EG, can they capitalize on this? RTZ getting blown up though, LG going to take the kill. DDC, oh, no, the change command time. They will be able to cancel the TP onto the Night Stalker, and they will find the return goes to 1-for-1, but LGD moving in, looking for more, they'll take down the Tombstone. Can they find something more from the side of EG? Fisher, RTK blocking off there, Samel, still stuck in the trees, he's been found out. They'll get the second kill, 2-for-1, and now LGD looking to make a bit of a comeback on after a pretty atrocious start there.
That PPDB slip push though, mid lane, look at him go. Actually, he didn't really do anything.
He didn't have the level 6, so...
Nor the TP.
If he had the Death Warden and could have attended, maybe that would have been a different story, but LGD, they come out on top then, and they keep Sylar alive.
They did.
This time Sylar does not fall.
The swap was huge. I see what you did there. Nicely done. The fissure was absolutely break, and ROTK surviving a 5 mace. He is going to be well on his way to his Blink Dagger. So LGD finding a bright spot. Sylar again, surviving a fight and gets a little bit of farm time. They also got the tower, so great stuff here for LGD.
Mid lane. Smell does have the backup of Artur and PPD. But LGD are very much waiting the wings to see if anyone does overextend. Hanging behind that tier 1.
Just looking at that team fight in retrospect, I felt like maybe EG thought they could have the Witch Doctor into the fight, but they didn't have it. Because if you look at without the Witch Doctor, where's really the damage? We gotta keep in mind that RTZ was the first one to drop, and without RTZ and the Witch Doctor, they really lacked.
PPD there dispelling the smoke. He was there hiding behind the trees, and it's over there for LGD. They can't really do anything off the back of that anymore. Sylar trying to front it now. Won't be able to jump. 7-3 for EG, still very much them with the lead. Again, still all 3 cores on top of the 3 cores of LGD. But LGD proving that they can still take a fight.
ROTK, some cheeky stuff on the side. They're actually maybe thinking about just a lot of tactical movements around the map for LGD. That team fight gave them a sign of life, but it's just not enough.
We don't mess around. Universe, he wants revenge dead. Goodbye, MMY.
That's fine.
Goodbye. Samel?
This is going to be a hard kill.
Silence? The silence, but he did get the flame guard out, and yeah, that's enough.
Oh.
He's got the blink. RTZ, how yellow does he want to go? Not yellow enough. So that will be fine. On the other hand, RTK needing to be a bit careful with which way he decides to go. He's coming forward towards the mid lane. We'll get the Fisher block off nicely onto PPD, and PPD will get Tombstone extinguished. And now Universe coming in. He doesn't have the Chrono, but indeed the Tombstone, the right clicks from Artur. They'll find one there with RTK. They give themselves a double kill for the TA. Universe moving for the time walk. They've got the slow from the trap. It will be a 3rd kill for EG.
LGD is a team of 4 casters, and that's where the Tombstones gets really good if it's not focused. In a perfect placement. Sure, you got the Witch Doctor, but EG happy to make that trade and continue to press for more. I think it's more helpful for the team if ROTK just disappears from the map and farm. I think they need some team fight way to get themselves back in the game. And Blink Dagger is essentially the only way.
How's RTK doing on the Blink?
He's got 1,000 gold, so not too good. I mean, Silo's getting some room, but it takes a while for Terrorblade to reach that critical mask before you could really do anything. Yesterday, I believe Loda got a Dragon Lance. That's not the Starladder way. Starladder generally just go for Manta, Scotty, Butterfly, your standard agility, carry items. And he is very far away from all of that.
But he certainly played. We did see him obviously go down very, very quickly and very frequently at the start, about the 4 deaths, all happening within the first 6 minutes. But since that point, he's, hasn't been caught out again. So this is a good sign for LGD. Sylar, as you said, being able to find the space, still is behind EG, but arguably not so far behind that it's too drastic. He can catch up, and we know Sylar's farm can be done at a very good rate. You can see a Fisher being dropped. Looks like it was just to stop anyone from jumping in onto maybe.
Yeah, he is technically catching up, but we got to keep in mind that he's doing so on the backs of his team being a 5v4. And because of that, the Shaker's also not getting farm. Zeus's farm is somewhat limited. Zeus getting the the nice rune that he just picked up.
The arcane rune.
The arcane rune's run.
And in fact, they want to kill maybe. Yules just straight in, but indeed the Yules holding back the Ember. Oh, the swap out as well. Now will allow him to get off the ultimate hit. Thundergo's wrap, but MMY will pay for his sins and will die.
Go be chasing.
Can they chase this? There's your Fisher. It's going to be on the right side of it. And I think he could use to die maybe with Samael. 1 Spirit, 2 Spirit. Hasn't got the Sleight of Fist off cooldown again. And in fact, Samael might have overstepped the market. Samael needs to be careful. Universe. Oh no! The Chrono doesn't catch anyone. It will force LG to force to find Sylar. Coming in with a Metamorphosis, trying to fight this one out. They've lost Samael. Here's Sylar hitting back hard. He will pick up the kill there onto PPD. And now Fear, all alone, deep in enemy territory. Looks like EG got a little bit too aggressive, and Sylar now with a double kill. Sylar on his way back into the game.
And that's Blink on RTK.
This is big, and suddenly, look at Sylar, second in the net worth.
Just so
Regained
uncharacteristic.
everything that he lost at the start.
Very, very uncharacteristic for EG to make that kind of deep dive. Normally they're very controlled as a team and they don't overextend. And surprisingly, they just took the fight after Universe missed the chrono.
It was just such a deep dive from Samael. We saw him use multiple spirits to just continue to dive deeper and deeper, and then he just had no way to get himself out. And he was out of mana, didn't have the cooldown available on Sleight of Fist being level 1. It's got that really, really long cooldown, so he couldn't jump in and get a chains catch.
A part of it is his team unable to keep up with the speed. I mean, it's sure if you make the deep dive and the rest of your team is there, that's great, but Artesia was a bit far away, and the poor Witch Doctor was just kind of walking in and out of the fight, just died to the Terrorblade. And suddenly that's a Manta style.
I think this is, if you're EG, this is scary. That the TB's been able to do this after what felt like you crushing him in the laning stage. He's coming back hard, Sylar.
Yeah. The other thing is, DDC, it looks like he'll die here. Chronosphere is not available, but the man is moving fast and he'll just TP up.
Okay, unlucky there, Universe.
The Blink Dagger and the RTK now also give them a fairly reliable method to catch the Ember. Previously, you just had a Fissure from Fog, but now you could even add the Blink Echo on top of that, and that should give DDC enough time to walk in and get off a crippling fair. Whereas before, you have to come in from this awkward angle and hope that Sumail is slow, and generally he is extremely fast at escape.
And of course, RTK Shaker, not something to be underestimated. Especially once he has got that blink at his disposal, which he has at the moment. You can expect this man to make the big plays.
Not only that, once you get the blink, you do free up farm for the rest of the team, and the rest of the team can benefit from farm. Not just Sylar, not just Zeus. Last game we saw the Night Stalker picking up the Ags. Venge, obviously, if he gets Ags, that would be great for her.
Ooh. Can they get to the pit in time? I don't know if they can. I think it looks like they're just going to have to let this one go. EG taking this at too much of a rate, and on top of the blink Deso, he is going to have that Aegis Artor. So he's going to be fine. One thing interesting as well, just look at the vision from the Radiant with their warding and with the TA traps. They've got most of the key choke points. They're going to see the movements of LGD pretty clearly.
Yeah, and that will inherently limit the space that the Terrorblade can farm in. If you're in the jungle and a trap just randomly pops, you just have to run. So Sylar, despite all of that, despite the early deaths, has made his comeback, but let's not kid ourselves.
He's top of the CS now. Top of the CS.
Though, let's not kid ourselves. The LGD is very far behind, despite the fact.
I don't know. I mean, overall, but it's a Terrorblade move.
I mean, the net worth as well as the CS show like one story. The story I'm seeing is that EG gets to walk around the map.
Okay, there's your Chrono from Universe coming in just in time to cancel the TP.
And he is so dead. He could wand and maybe echo, but
he's gone.
Yeah, the map is EG's. They get to farm where they want to farm. They get to do Roshan whenever. They get to, group up and fight if they want to. So that means if EG wants to take this game late, they can. If they want to go gank and push, they can. It's just really hard to win a game of Dota when you don't dictate the tempo or how the game is meant to be played.
Well, bottom line, looking for some L and DDC with this invis. It could be the ticket to get the kill. Gets it through before any kind of playing goes. Bam. Maybe. Says that kills mine. We'll put the Thundergo's Wrath for it, but understand, you want that Amber Dead. You don't want to leave any risk of him getting out at the end of the silence. So fair play to the Zeus there. And at the same time, either they're going to look for tier 2 with the Metamorphosis, the Conjure image. Bam. That's a Terrorblade.
Yeah, very lucky Invis rune being picked up by DDC, and you don't expect the Ember Spirit to die randomly in the mid game, but that's one way to get it.
They're going to send PPD back now just in case Sella continues to push, and he won't. Send the illusions in. 3.1k gold. I mean, what does the TP go for next? Is it going to be the Skadi next?
That's generally what he goes for. So, is there any other big item that he should be going for? Maybe he'll pick up a little bit of physical survivability against the Chrono as well as the TA, so maybe a Talisman of Evasion wouldn't be bad. And then go back for the Scotty. We'll see.
We'll see what it decides to tank up with. We are seeing EG 22 minutes in on PPD Witch Doctor. How's he doing on the Aghanims? He did just pick up, I think, the set. No, wait, sorry, who did I just see? Someone was building an Aghs. Whose progression was with the Aghs? It was...
I saw an Ogre Club.
Sorry, Universe. Yeah, the Ogre just picked up the Ogre Club. DDC.
Yeah, DDC,
Night Stalkers, yeah.
Point Booster.
He's very close there. He's still got 750 on top, so that's going to come out later, surely.
And a good TA player just randomly gets that. They traps around the map, saw the smoke. And LGD is thinking that they're doing something smart with a smoke gank, but they're not going to find anybody.
And of course this is going to be something once they've got the Aghs gem on the Night Stalker, the TA trap's not going to be an issue because you can clear the area before the smoke, and it's going to be a bit easier for LGD to get those pickups, but it does rely on the Night Stalker finishing those two items, the Aghs and the gem.
Again, there will be a stage of this game where LGD is very, very good at holding the high ground. Oh, Courier running over the entire team.
There's going to be a blink 4 for Universe and they'll take it down. It didn't have anything on that. Apart from, I think, a lone TP, so it's all good.
I'm going to say if LGD could survive till Aghanims on Night Stalker, the Zeus should be enough to really de-push. And it's going to be hard for Universe to find a good Chrono where he gets like 3 or 4. Arteezy just tanking up in the front line. He has the Aegis, so he's not too afraid.
I'm playing very much on the edge of his life there, but as you said, he knew he had the backup.
Suso being committed. I mean, it would have just popped his Aegis, so it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, now, contrary to what I said earlier, it seems like LGD is at least grabbing a foothold into this map. Sylar has been occupied into the bottom jungle, they're farming, they're split pushing. At least they're dictating certain areas of the map, and they could play Dota there.
I think it's definitely impressive stuff from Sylar. I mean, you can't be kind of going into game with good spirits if you die 4 times in the first 6 minutes. That's got to be a bit of a blow to you.
Yeah.
But he's kept his composition. As I said, ever since that 6-minute mark, he hasn't died again. He's been mentally safely, and he's just been keeping his head in the game.
Like sometimes he's gone tilt, but not Sylar.
No. There's no tilting this man. And if it is indeed that Scott, he's closing in on the money for it as well. Just over 1,000. And That'll be the Scud he does suddenly. TB is not only going to be ripping through your towers, but he's also going to be rather hard for you to burst down.
Uh-oh, DDC.
DDC might get caught out by the man with his invis. They'll drop the death ward for this one. They want the kill and they'll get it. Universe picking up the gold, the glory for that one. And it's going to put him very close to his own Agadins. Just under 500 and Universe will have the Axe Chrono.
The nice thing about the Axe Chrono is that apart from the duration, the cooldown gets much lower, and the fact that you get much tankier, and also it does set you up for the refresher down the road, given the mana it does give you. The Patented Winter Faceless Void build, which he literally tells me every time he sees a Faceless Void being played on television, is like, okay guys, I go Shiva's guard next.
On television?
Or, I mean... I'm in the modern era where every time I see a monitor, that's my television. But ROTK? ROTK! Swap!
Yeah. You guys, I'll take this one, says MMY, and he certainly will. Oh, with the fish and the magic missile, maybe they can save MMY as well. Samel is there.
Yeah.
He's gone. One more touch and he'll get it, but ROTK with the snap onto Universe. Samel will take everything! He gets it out! Samel with the jukes. He's gone. So just the Venge dying there. LGD unable to find anything in return with that jump echo slam. Samel this time playing as safe as he needs to. Oh, Chase onto Sylar. Jumping as well. There's your card. Oh, can they do it? They'll get him. There's going to be Sylar down. RTZ in Universe looking for more. The Deso coming through onto the Earthshaker. They'll get the trap slow. Slider fist into our Universe. Jumps in. RTZ as well. They'll get themselves RTK. Back to the tower, EG proving to still be the dominant force in these fights and showing us that Sylar isn't yet at that point where he can just stand at the front and soak it all in. He can still crumble.
Just the fact that you just missed one nuker 1 second to kill Universe. Maybe trying to stay relatively far back. He does have the Aether Lens, so it makes defense much easier. But no, he got time dilation.
Yeah, Universe just jumped in, popped the time dilation, knowing that without the Zeus, it's very hard for them to hold off this push.
That's a tower.
Time dilation, boys.
And you can see that maybe he's constantly arcing.
Oh, he didn't quite catch the Zeus then, unfortunately.
Canceling the blink. But these Raxes are just falling.
TK's back. Fish onto Arthur. RTZ getting a little out to put the BKB in now. He's going to just jump in a fight. Blows up the Zeus. RTZ. Double kill. He's all in the same triple kill. He has no fear. RTZ going in with big ass balls and he's looking for more. RTK. Right, it's going to be the tag team. Arthur gets out. Tags his boy Samael in and bam. 5 down on LGD. RTZ trusting in fear there with the Soul Rip, going in on the lowest of health with his BKB. A bit of a madman, but it pays off. What a performance from RTZ.
I mean, that looked like perfect calculation to me. Just knew that he was absolutely fine, and like you said, just having the balls to go in like that against a Zeus, a Terrorblade, no worries in the world, and that's going to be 2 sets of racks. LGD obviously not calling the GG yet, but the writing's on the wall, man. The 3rd sets of racks is going down. They have 1 fight left in them. Can they get some Arc Lightning? Can they just defend? They will have the Echo Slam available.
They need this big wombo combo. Tombstone's going to be dropped. EG ready to try and hang around. They're going to play it safe, maybe jumping in fear. Oh, mana. Samael gets the change up onto DDC, but looks like EG. They are going to respect the fighting power of LGD for now, but 2 sets of racks. Huge fight from EG and a huge plays there from the team. And look at that firework.
Alright, man. If LG somehow holds this and make a miraculous comeback, we're going to have to be in a long haul. Because
yes, it's worth noting that half the crowd here, I think the game's over. Half the crowd has given up. They've already walked up to the stage. They've gone over to the Russian casting panel to get their signatures. They think this is over.
I think it's more surprising to not see the whole crowd standing up to think this game is over, because boy, if I'm not casting, I'm also getting up to get one of those signatures myself.
I can't wait to get signatures from the Russian boys. But no, this is still very much on. LGD aren't tapping out. And LGD, if they can turn this at 1 big Echo Slam from RTK, could set something big up. But we were just seeing how far EG are ahead after that last fight. EG are certainly very, very close to being able to take themselves into the finals. Of course, they will be going up against, or the winner of this game will go up against
winner of Alliance
and Liquid. Yep. And that's going to be on Lacer today. That series I mean, this series has been pretty intense. But that series, I think, is going to be as intense, maybe even more.
Is LGD waiting to finish a certain item that could have turned the tide?
I think they're waiting for the chance to just have that jump. RTC versus jump, maybe with the Euros, but RTC popping the BKB. Ready to go for it, maybe gets forced back. There's Inferno, on to the swap out. RTC's gone though. 2 down without buyback. Deathward gets laid into MMY. 3 are dead on LGD. And now will be the space play. EG's go for the finish. RTC goes in. GG is called. We have your first finalist, EG, as they take down LGD in the semis. They destroyed Vega in the quarters, and these guys, they may have had not the smoothest of runs in the group stages, but in these playoffs, EG looking to be on top form.
They absolutely did. The only game they dropped so far is the game against Starladder Smartling, which is Starladder Smartling,
Which you can't blame, and here we have it. The music's coming out.